Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL, Alon.
This Walsh.
So, for some people, it's a week from hell. For other people, they're flying. How you doing?
Well, we got to start with how you doing off Wildcard.
A little bit.
How you doing?
Yeah. Dude, I'm doing fine. I got some late points. I got some nacho, sort of late, sort of garbage time points. I got a Pereira.
Well, talk about your
pointer.
team. Because don't forget, like we were talking about last pod, that not everyone's staring at your team on their computer
Most
screen like you and I.
Didn't look at my team. Yeah, so
this is an audio medium.
Well, yeah, come see, come saw. But yeah. So let's see what to talk about. I mean, I'll just rattle off the team and any decisions I made. Really, so I went Mendy, Forster at the back. Forster, whatever, easy starter 4-0. Mendy, I was on Leno all week. I don't want to throw Nate under the bus because he did warn us. He did warn us that he was being overly negative, overly biased against his team, against Arsenal. But I was on Leno and Holding all week, and then they easy clean, and Chelsea concede one shot.
And the Arsenal player that you did keep is drumroll
injured. Emile Smith-Rowe,
who Nate said was going to definitely start.
Amazing that two players on Wildcard get the Friday night embargo dick in the ass with Christensen and Smith-Rowe. So I'm already I have no playing players on my bench.
All right.
1 week in Wildcard, I have Christensen, Smith-Rowe, Mitchell. I'm just like,
what is Forster? No, is he dead to you?
What happened? No, Forster's the guy.
I went so Jota. Didn't go out. I went Mendy. Okay.
Yeah. So I went Mendy in the end, which they let up one shot. I still feel fine about it. At the back, I went Rudiger, Christensen, so triple up on Chelsea. Fofana, Trent, and then Mitchell's just fodder. So Trent's easy. We don't need to talk about Fofana. Me on Friday, my life. I don't trust Leicester. I don't want any Leicester defenders, whatever. But things happen when you're panicking, and it's just at the deadline, and you need a fifth guy that you can start every week. They were beyond terrible against West Ham, but they still have West Brom, Palace, Southampton, Newcastle. I'm still just going to start him and be like, yeah, that's why I got him. They should get some cleans there. I still believe they will. So hopefully that comes through. The Christensen...
Yeah, because I threw Holgate at you last minute.
Oh, my God. And cleans instantly. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was looking at everyone. I was looking at Shaw.
But you didn't look at him.
I didn't look at Holgate, to be fair. I didn't give him a chance. I looked at Castagna, Fofana. I don't even remember who else. I played with some Nat teams. I ended up going with Jota as my third Liverpool. Christensen injury blows, and he's way better than Zuma at defending, so you have to think, if Christensen was just in there, they'd probably keep the clean, but who knows. So that's my defenders. Midfield, Mo, Jota, Raz. I'm in a 4-3-3 most weeks, but this week Pereira auto-subbed in for Christensen, so this week for Raz, I was saying just for the 1 week cap, didn't come off, still... Totally trust that process and decision making, and
you live your life.
Yeah, whatever.
Sometimes the points come, and sometimes the points don't come.
Yeah, sometimes Andros Townsend scores from 35 yards, and sometimes whatever misses a sitter. That's just footy. Mo and Jota are fine, good. Pereira, I liked him as the cheapest actual good attacking guy.
Saka was there.
But he's not nailed. Europe, it's sketchy. I don't like it.
But
he has other issues.
Cheap and attacking.
Yeah, Pereira's super cheap, nailed, on pens. Don't have to think about it. First guy on my bench every week, and that came through this week, so that's a good job by me.
Good job by you there.
I went, obviously, Kane, and then Vardy and Nacho up top, which Vardy didn't really do much, but when does Vardy really do much? He just either gets behind and they complete that one long ball, or he doesn't complete the long ball and he doesn't really do anything. And So whatever, I'm not concerned there. They still have the aforementioned insane fixtures. They still back Vardy and Pens and whatnot, and Nacho. I mean, he's just similar to like someone like Lingard, who I'm sure we'll talk about later. He's just super confident and looking good and hot right now. I mean, he's also getting really good chances, but like
good stats.
Yeah, good stats and stuff. But that first goal he scored was like, damn, like very sick. He's just looking great.
No Matto, they missed this game.
Yeah, and I dodged Matto.
Nacho.
I was considering Matto, so it's a good job by me, but he's a fucking moron beyond moron when they're fighting for top 4 and he has to break protocol. And so
he had to.
Yeah. But yeah.
So you got 54 green. You're good.
Yeah, 54 little green.
Nice, dude. Nice.
It's funny,
bro.
on FPL
funny?
Game
Tell
Week,
me.
you can click your team and just see. It's what I use to look at the live tables because the FPL site's never updated in time for Prize League and shit. So I use FPL Game Week. And you can see your graph of your overall ranking and where it is.
Yeah.
And mine is just like the absolute bottom of the graph right at the beginning. Like just like 3.5 million, boom, right off the start. And I've just been steady green. Just like a
Look at you.
correlation positive normal ass line. The thing that sucks is I never really got those like huge chunk rises. I never like capped that Hattie that no one had.
You did a couple. You did that Timo early days. You did a couple. You did a couple.
There were none on the graph that were like so massive that I was like
fucking graph.
I'm just saying it's interesting, but yeah, I mean, so basically what I'm saying is I'm keeping it going. Broken in the top mill, which still is fucking horrible and a joke, but I'm here. So hopefully I have a good end of the season. That's basically it. Yeah. What about you?
We could skip that part.
Oh, come on. You made some Flair transfers, a Flair captain. Dude, your captain got 11 points.
I took a -4 that was in reality like a minus like 14.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bad is an extra pot. But one of the many reasons why I'm so bad is when I hit, I take extra point hits that aren't calculated in my score, but they're there. I know they're there.
Yeah, we know
they're always there. Yeah. I never hit. It's disgusting. But I mean, obviously I got Kunin like a fucking moron. And I mean, a reason 83 of why I'm bad is like, okay, need a cheap defender to get like, oh yeah, like holding. Everyone is holding so good, safe, LOL. I get Cedric because that's what I do. I get fucking players like Cedric instead of like the sure thing. And that's another -8 there. It's just the points, the perceived slights of the points are just everywhere. They're all looking at me. They're all watching
some
me
sort of
and judging me.
Dysfunctional thing in our brain. Well, like you said, probably many, but we're always getting the non-obvious guy. Like we're always going for that flair. No one has him. Yeah, maybe I'll get me an assist 12-pointer when like the obvious cheaper nailed guy is sitting right there. It's just
gets it. Yeah. So it's
just
not
like
good.
I
had 9 players this week.
Yeah.
It's just if Trent didn't score that goal at the end of the game, I would have I think I'd have 15 points or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a mess, dude. My team's a fuck. My team, I was doing well, and then I do things like at Kunin, and now my team's an actual fucking mess.
Yeah, you had 7 straight greens.
Got Kunin, captain him.
Hit in Kuhn and Cedric. And now it's a disaster.
And I have huge issues everywhere in my team.
Now you have to get rid of Kuhn, you have to get rid of Cedric. Smith Rowe's injured.
Sun City, blank, everything's happening, so it's fun.
Oh my god,
everything's going
at
fine
least
over
Soup
here.
got you an assist.
Oh yeah, great.
He finally came good.
Fucking hell.
Rough.
All right, let's go. That's it for that section.
League updates. Shout out to the 3F Midfield Prize League Mug League leaders for April so far. Andon Espeseth, aka Calvert Losing Weekly. Jamie O'Leary, aka Barry the Hatchet, and Cam Ye, aka Firmino Dentistry. League leader in the public league, still nom, but Pedro's Hombres, some others are lurking. Nom, better watch your ass, dude. It's not done yet.
All right.
should we start with Lingard?
I
Not
feel
talk
so-
about Lingard.
I feel so ill-placed to give FPL like advice after just saying the things I just said about my team. I feel so shameful.
I should have clipped it before, whenever that was, earlier this season, when I've described our role in the FPL community, and it's not advice and it's not expertise. We are your friends at the fucking pub, chat shit, get banged, like, just that's who we are.
It's
Crack a beer, listen to the pod, enjoy yourself, forget about the horrors of FPL, and just fucking live your life.
It's such a juxtaposition with, like, I feel like we actually know so much about football in the game.
Well,
but when it comes to FPL, it's just a joke.
No,
I can't even put the pieces together.
Every week, and I'm not exaggerating, whether it's Reddit, Twitter, Discord, whatever, multiple top 5K managers are like, great pod, loved it this week. Like, I listened to you guys and I got blah, blah, blah. Like that.
We need to ask them, okay, can you please help me with my team?
Well, they've figured us out because they see the whole thing and just see the few good points we make or good picks we make and just ignore the funny banter shit. But we don't see that clearly, obviously. And we just do bad shit all the time. I only
see the funny bad shit. It keeps getting worse.
One of the greatest misconceptions in FPL is like, I'm just going to do the fun, stupid shit. But then your captain gets a 0 and it's not fun. Like, it's not fun at all.
No, confirmed, didn't have fun. It's
fun on Friday when you like type up your lineup and you're like, oh, Koonin, like, let's go, my dick is huge. But then when the arrows are red and the points are low, it's super not fun.
And new flags even to boot.
New flags.
All right.
A lot of flag bearing. Lingard, we got 4 questions on Lingard. B. Robert said, has the game versus Leicester changed your opinion on West Ham and Lingard at all? Espin, what the actual fuck? Are there still some crumbs left for us there, or is it like going all in on Bitcoin in 2021, which I don't know anything about?
I don't know what that means.
I like the juxtaposition there, but I don't know what the fuck. Magic Mike and Jesse
I shouldn't have said that word. Our X juxtaposition now is already on like.
I'll cut it off. It's a great word. Magic Mike, can Jesse really carry on? Blah, blah, blah. Now Cresswell's looking out short term to add to the missing Rice and Antonio. Surely can't keep it up. His first goal against Leicester is a complete fuck up, the little meme cunt, which I like. And then TJC, is Jay Links just a better version of any of the other options at that price point? Rafinha, Mason, Pereira, etc. Where are we at?
The answer to the last question, it's just yes.
Yes.
This is coming back to like when you are getting fucking smashed over the head with a frying pan, like just lay down.
Yeah.
It's like
cover your head, don't cover your balls. He's hitting you in the head.
That was way better than what I said. He's just scoring 20 points a week. It's a fucking joke. Obviously West Ham are a fucked up mess and Leicester played like dog shit this weekend. But Lingardinho just needs that one half chance and he'll worldie as long as he's wearing the clarets and the iron wankers,
Yeah.
He's just
they had 4 shots. The team.
Yeah. No,
4
they
shots,
were
3
fucking.
goals.
I mean, and okay, they scored the 3 early and then they just turtled, but that plays a picture to there. But no, in general, it's nuts. And Leicester just fucking were horrendous. It was insane how bad they were. But it's still, you look at the fixtures and they have at Newcastle, home Chelsea, bad, at Burnley, home Everton, at Brighton, at West Brom, home Southampton, taking us home. You never know there's good. They're going to be a schizophrenic team and they're going to put up some duds.
Chelsea's the only definitely bad one in that.
Yeah, the rest are fine.
The rest are either really good or fine.
Listen, I am still maintaining that no Rice, no Antonio, like the functioning is not going to be good. I think Leicester were beyond. Like they just were so.
I think that's reflective in the 4 shots. Like, right? Like that. They tried to keep countering over and over again. It worked a few times and they got their goals, but had they not scored those goals, I mean, there was nothing else. Like West Ham had no other anything. And
that could be a big problem for them when they're not going to be able to counter against these horrendous teams.
That's true.
So we don't know, like Lingard, we don't know that they're going to be setting up when they have the ball with, with this team and creating or anything. They could just not create anything, which would be very reasonable. I still think that they're going to struggle in the next, handful of games without their two best players.
And
basically.
Cresswell, arguably 3.
Yeah, Cresswell, big miss. He's
important.
Yeah,
though.
I think it's Ogbonna because it's just trickle down between missing both of them. Because they do have center backs for fucking days.
I know, but still, his passing, his dead balls, his corners, he's still really good.
No, he's an important player for sure.
Yeah,
So they're limping around, but it's still, you come back to it, and it's just you're looking for excuses not to get him in more than good reasons. Right. And 14, 12, 12 last 3 game weeks, he's blanked once in his starts since he got there in 8 starts, which is crazy. That's like better than Bruno's status, and he's 6'5". So I think it's a pretty clear no-brainer at this point after he just keeps continually shitting out points.
I think we actually nailed it on Friday My Life, and I'm fully aware that only Patreon subscribers listen to that, but this is the exact type of player that we very consistently miss out on, because in the long run, it won't last. I think everyone intuitively knows that Lingard's not a 35-goal scorer next season and the best player in the league. But, we miss out on Lingard, we miss out on Gundo, we miss out on Greenwood in the restart, we miss out on, that happens all the time. I'm sure every season that happens. Even like Mane over Mo, when was that, 2 seasons ago? It's a similar sort of thing. Like, we back the chances and the just regularity of the shots and the eye test and stuff like that. But sometimes guys are just fucking red hot and they just score all their shots.
They defy the things.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying before. Sometimes fucking Townsend scores a 30-yard goal and you can't accult for that. It's a 1%er.
Sometimes Jesse Lingard does for 2 months in a row.
Yeah, and sometimes he misses sitters, as Manchester United's fans know very well.
Very well, yeah.
So, I don't know. I think you nailed it. It's just, just get him. The problem is, when do you get rid? I don't know.
That's the thing.
When does someone stop being red hot? And how can you tell? I don't know. That's really hard.
Because the team's going to be struggling, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We'll see, but
I love 6'5". A lot of people on Twitter are like, XG nerds get owned by Messi Lingard. I'm just like, dude,
what does that mean?
What are you talking about? You just don't know what XG means. That's what that means.
What's the joke though? Because I don't know what the things are.
The joke is like he's outperforming XG, and so people don't have him. But
okay,
we can. That's a whole sidetrack on XG. Oh yeah, Twitter, great place. Let's go to Man United. Speak of Man United. Alon James on Twitter wondering what to do with Bruno. Do we hold for the next 2 and hope he actually does something? Jax, with Tony out, is Cavani an option or is his fitness a concern? Simple Mugs asking about Paul. He looked really solid since he's come back. Thanks to his injuries this season, you can rationalize he's got a bit more to offer than other guys who've been playing nonstop. And Chuck Norris said, is it Greenwood time? Form and fixtures are good. Chasing points seems to be working this season. So a lot of United action after they were fucking awesome in the second half against Spurs and shit all over them.
Awful in the first half against Spurs, which it seems like no one's remembering. They were played off the park in the first half.
Absolutely terrible.
And then they played, you say, there's that tale of 2 halves. Yeah, but I'm still not excited about them being all of a sudden a better attacking good team. I still think they are who they have been for 30 weeks before this wonderful second half when Spurs turtled and tried to play defensive and they can't do that. I don't think it's a surprise that Mourinho does his thing and sub off in Doms and Lo Celso, and then they just can't function. They don't function, it's just so. I think there's a lot of context that you have to throw in there to put a little bit of water on that fire because of the excitement. I understand it's Man United and blah 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 blah. That said, we've been talking about Bruno. We've been pretty down on Bruno, talking about him in a downish way for a a little while now.
A long time.
A long time. He's just been a lot more reserved and. He's not he in the beginning of the season he was making those late runs into the box. I don't think he does. He's done that in 2 months. He's very clearly playing between the boxes, and he's he had that one really good shot. He almost scored.
Good, really good save.
He'll do that, right? I remember there was one in the Fulham game. I think that was
his literal only shot in the game. By the way, that was 25 yards with his left.
Yeah, and I mean he's always going to come like he could have had an assist because he makes so many of those passes into the, whatever. But when you look at his return and you look at his positioning and his numbers and his role and their fixtures that remain, I think he's a tough sell to me at 11-6. It screams to me of just that coverage pick that he can
tough
always
sell,
pull.
or you mean a tough buy?
A tough sell to keep him. That he's a good pick.
Okay.
Like if you're selling me Bruno stock.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, he can always pull out a 12, 13 pointer because they get a pen and he has a side pass assist. Like, bam, huge hole.
Yeah.
But that's how repeatable is that? I mean, okay, jokes, LOL, Man United get pens all the time, but pens have been down recently in the league, and I mean, 11-6 is extremely expensive. And again, I'm not purchasing second half of Man United. They figured it out. They're going to be blowing teams' doors down. Like it's like still Ole, still same personnel. So I'm a little bit in that place, but. Paul's always an option, as we know.
The thing with the next two fixtures is that, I mean, I can see them just scoring like 4 in each of those. Like but
Burnley Leeds. You think
outside
it's
of
just
maybe
two?
Palace and Southampton, those are the best two fixtures you could ask for. I mean, maybe Leeds play super defensive again against Liverpool, and we change our perspective. We don't know yet, but Burnley, dude,
Burnley are
the queens of the beach land. They're just bikini bottoms, like fucking.
That's a good point.
They concede so many goals and chances all the time now. Like they just don't give a fuck. They don't clean at all ever anymore.
They're just playing different football. It's nuts, and
they're scoring goals. To be fair, Wood and Vidra and shit are scoring goals, but
now they're losing 3-2 instead of
that's an unbelievably good fixture. So I still
that's true.
Would probably hold for those two, but then look to get rid potentially. Just
that's fair
Bruno.
when you look at those two games. Burnley Leeds.
Yeah,
I mean Paul. I still, I'm never gonna say don't get Paul if someone wants Paul.
Good. He was so good.
Yeah. The issue with Paul, as we know, that is historical, is that he puts in, those kind of performances, but he's like kind of sometimes nowhere near fantasy points because he shoots from fuckland and his assists are, he's relying on assists. So he could always look good and just get 2 points. But Cavani is interesting with Martial.
Yeah, Cavani, to me, Cavani was like the, what'd you say?
The contract dispute thing is worrying.
It is, but I mean, he started, which I didn't expect. To me, Cavani is kind of like what elevates them to a better team. And you could argue that their worst two players of the season before the last few games were Martial and Greenwood trying to play up top. Like they've both been really bad whenever they've played striker for the most part. Greenwood's looking good now. He's been really good last few games, but over the course of the season, that position has just been like a black hole for United. And Cavani's been the one guy, when he's in there, looks really good, gets lots of chances, good movement, good hold up, all of the stuff that, good number 9s do, for lack of a better word. Like, not someone who is an awkward half number 9 who doesn't, hasn't logged a million minutes at the position, but Cavani has, and he does that stuff. And you can just see it with his goal, right? I mean, he scored the offsides goal, but then the winner, he tells Greenwood, put it in first time. I'm going to be making the fucking run. Play it first time. What does Greenwood do? He plays it first time. Cavani's making the run. Center backs are in fuckland. Boom. Cavani. Yeah. Beautiful header. Yeah. So to me, if Cavani gets a run, he's an option and it makes the whole team better.
I agree.
And Greenwood.
So, on Cavani?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Greenwood either, to be honest. And everyone.
Because he looks good now?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that I'm a Greenwood detractor, but lately he's shooting a fucking ton, which you love to see.
Has been. Yeah, he has been.
He's been looking way better. I mean, just straight up, he's been putting up better numbers and looking better.
Okay.
He's really
definitely a better pick than Paul.
Yes.
In FPL, if you're trying to get points and be good.
And probably Cavani, too. I just expect more minutes is the only reason I would say that.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't start for Spurs, so lol. But, I just think he'll play more minutes down the stretch and is looking good. And he's 7. It's just so cheap.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that pick.
Yeah, that's interesting. If you're shouting Greenwood, then people should listen.
Yeah.
All right, Man U. That's Man U. Good job by you.
Good. Let's just go straight to Spurs because we got 2 questions there. Gabamin Truther, is double Spurs attack actually good for the double, or are we just heading for X Pain? So for those who don't know, they double this week with at Everton, home Southampton. Yeah, and then Pete said, I capped Sterling for a punt like Alon this week. Good job by us. Is Son still the transfer in despite Spurs being shit and potential rotation before the EFL final, which I guess is a cup? EFL
yeah, I think it's one of them.
Final. I'm literally Googling it. Yeah, they play City in the EFL final. Cool.
Yeah, that's great.
No, I don't think there'll be rotation before the cup final because they're trying to get into top 4 and every match is pretty much must win because they're kind of outside looking in right now. So you can just forget about that question. But what do you think about Son? I mean, did you see stuff from Son that you liked? Do you like him for the double? Anyone else you like for the double on the team?
Other than Kane?
Yeah, other than Kane, yeah.
No, I don't think really there are any options there. I mean, the defense just looks broken.
They're really
the personnel,
bad at defending.
The personnel is just, they're all not good enough.
Yeah.
And, Son is still really expensive. The thing that they have going for them after the blank is they play home Sheffield United and then at Leeds. So,
even home Wolves at this point.
Yeah, home Wolves at this point could be good.
Yeah, so Neto's we're looking out for the season.
Yeah, I mean, Wolves are a mess generally. Who knows what they're going to ever do?
Yeah.
I mean, then last game they went back to the 0-0 thing, and 2 games ago, I don't know if that's good. That's too far away to call anyway. But I mean, it's just, I think it's again a little bit overthinking if you just don't get him because
Son, you're talking about?
Yeah, because it's just he's obviously a really good player, and he's scored a goal this week for the first time in a while, and he was playing reserved and wide. Lo Celso and Ndombele were playing a lot more down the more narrow and the better goal scoring positions. Son still popped in there periodically, although where he was picking the ball up was a lot deeper and a lot wider than you'd like to see. He was definitely not playing that counter-attacking, up top, trying to get in behind at all, which he hasn't been doing for a long time. But, I think it's the kind of thing where, they have some good fixtures coming up. They have a double. If you have him, you just hold him. If you don't have him and you can get him easily, you probably just want to do that just to cover yourself.
Yeah. I'm the same. I'm the same. Yeah. I'm still sticking with the Sterling to Son. It's just obvious. It's just obvious. Simple enough. I mean, if Son is 1v1ing Wan-Bissaka for an entire game and gets 4 shots and 3 key passes, I'm like, that's all I need to see. If he shoots that much, he's going to score goals. That's who he is.
Shots were weird though, but
I'm just saying, if he gets the shots off, he scores goals. That's just who he is.
Yeah, he usually has. I'm still worried just watching him because he just doesn't sprint that much anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just never played this many minutes in his fucking life.
Yeah, and Mourinho obviously limits the team.
Yeah,
he totally shackles them whenever they get a lead and whatever. But who knows? I mean, it's not working. Clearly, they're blowing every fucking lead that they have. So maybe one day he'll wake up and actually let them attack for 90 instead of for 30,
45, and then lose.
Yeah. So
I mean, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not buy with confidence. He looks great. I mean, he just has not done to me for a while.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's where I'm at with Son.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with him in 33. I mean, my initial, in the blank, when they blank in 33 next game week, my initial thing was him to Bruno, and then, maybe back to Son for Sheffield United and Leeds, but, across that
I'm
bridge
probably just not going to even get him back. Fucking fuck Son. He fucked me so hard this week, dude. I'm pissed off at him.
I can't believe
I fucking had him since game week 4 or whatever, through all this bullshit, and he's been terrible, and then he fucking comes in and scores against Man U. I'm like, come on, dude. It was also an
absolutely gorgeous goal.
Yeah, I know. He just didn't show me enough to keep him.
Yeah.
And he's just looked poor. I don't know.
Yeah. We got a couple Man City questions. Gato on Twitter and Jeff D looking for Gundo replacements. Gundo replacements other than Raf would be great, under 6 mil, and Jeff Gundo to Lingard or Greenwood. So we talked about those players. I mean, Lingard is the obvious one, right?
Yeah, Lingard's definitely the best pick there.
Yeah. But if you're in the mood to punt, I do like
have
the Greenwood
fun.
punt. Yeah.
Yeah, Greenwood.
Fun. Again, there's that trigger word.
Yeah, it's really fun to
It's
do
really
that
fun
and
to
then
get the
reds.
worst of two players and get less
And then
points.
and then watch Lingard
And watch
score
Lingard
more
do
points than him.
Fortnite dances, yeah.
Yeah.
And Bears, the time to start moving on our city boys with the league wrapped up. Should we be focusing our energy on the top four and avoiding relegation competitors, or is it too early? Which I guess transitions into beach teams, which we got questions on too, but let's just talk about City for a second. I went just Raz, and I'm transferring him out this week, so I'm about to be 0 City, and I feel totally fine with it. Where are you at on like City from an FPL perspective?
I still think it's good to have bullets in that gun. Like, I think if your bench is not like Keenan Davis and Cedric and shit, and like injured
Who would
players,
ever have
then
that?
I don't know, but then you're gonna be okay because he's been really doing that thing where he's like full resting player. Like he's not even using his subs.
Full rest.
So when the players aren't starting, I'm not like sitting there like, oh fuck, like they're gonna sub on. Like he's just not been really doing that.
Yeah.
It's like so planned, and it's like he doesn't even care what's happening in the game. It's like this is the sub we're making at this minute, and it's like that's what they're doing when they play. So, I mean, I have Kevin and I'm obviously I can't keep Kuhn. His big problems, he's hurt, but I have Kevin and Stones, and I mean I don't have any plans really of moving either of them probably like for the rest of the year. I just feel like they're gonna, they'll miss like one or two more probably, but they should just be these exhibition games where they're not gonna make 9 changes usually in the league as they will in between Champions League, unless if they have that next semifinal in between, then maybe that's the thing. But
And they have like multiple other cup finals, and they blank next week.
no, I mean, it's definitely, you definitely don't want to have, Sterling, like Kevin, Mahrez or some shit, like all these fucking guys. Like, I mean, Jesus maybe is not a bad pick because with Kuna, I mean, he's the only one there. And there's a lot of players, and they're all expensive. So but you still feel very comfortable and safe if you see them on the team sheet, when it comes out and you're like, oh, good, my City guy's playing against insert Premier League team here, whoever they're playing. And you're like, I'm going to get points. So you got to balance that, I think, and I also don't really feel like when I'm looking around at all the players available right now and all the other teams that I'm like, oh, there's so many amazing picks that I can't get. Right.
I guess that's where we disagree, because I filled my team with them on my wild card and I feel totally great. Like, I'm not saying every pick I made is fucking rock solid, amazing, but I feel
sounds like what you're saying. Look at you.
But I feel better than maybe half the games, for a City player.
Well, you're putting a lot of eggs in the Vardy basket, which is known.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's the difference there, really.
Yeah, but it's like, right, I'd rather Vardy 90 against West Brom, Palace, Southampton, Newcastle than, Kevin
for 3 games.
Yeah, max. He has a blank.
Yeah, with a blank. Yeah.
Max 3 games in the next 4. So probably 2, possibly 1.
Fucking love Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if they were like still
hate Vardy.
If there was a title,
die.
if there was a title to be played for and Kev was playing every week, we'd be singing a different song, but it's just not the case. Let's just go to the beach team questions because it's kind of related. Jeff D, I'm a sucker for the beach talk. As soon as you deem it appropriate, can we get a new weekly segment that updates which teams are on the beach? Mr. Ralph, nothing to play for, no fans, all contracts expiring. Woy, are Palace the most beach team in the history of beaches? Should we target them? Sorry, Walsh. And then Chase said, Sheffield United, Palace, Burnley, Southampton defenses are atrocious. Should we target anyone else for the remainder of the season?
That last group is yes. Big, loud yes.
Those are
those few teams.
Definite targets. Is there anyone else that's like top of the target list?
I think that Leeds are an interesting one because they are
we didn't talk
meaningless.
About Leeds.
Everton are still pretending, so they're still in there. Newcastle are still
Everton also
somehow
play like 6 to 7 defenders every game at this point.
It's true. They do play a lot of defenders.
They played 3 fullbacks and 4 center backs today, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of action.
I mean, he got hurt, so
yeah.
Too bad for him. He's one less to pick from. But no, I think that's a good list. I don't think I feel comfortable really adding anyone else onto it.
I would still captain
Arsenal,
against
maybe.
like West Brom.
Yeah, West Brom definitely, because they have nothing to play for, even though they play.
They have to also go for wins, which I think is an important thing. Like they're not going to sit back and defend and 0-0 or whatever. Like they're trying to score goals and win games. So totally probably won't keep many cleans. Yeah, I don't know. As far as beaches go, those are beachy.
Alice, though, oh boy,
why'd they have to wipe that fucking clean?
I mean, that's just that's always written in the stars.
They did us so goddamn dirty.
One attacking action, and Chelsea just break down.
Yeah.
Like fucking dumb fucks.
Yeah. Terrible. Hate to see it. Last two questions are on Chelsea. So King Didier said, is Pulisic back on the cards? Which I think is like targeted hate mail against me. And then Worry Pander said, has Tuchel figured out a good system and lineup for Chelsea's attack? Palace is a beach team, but I thought they looked fluid and it suits the players. Good interplay between Mount and Cho, Puli on the other side, Kai with the positioning, Werner on the bench where he deserves to be. So we've been very down on Chelsea attack for weeks, or basically since Tuchel got there. Any change there?
I would like to see it against a team of a real team.
Yeah,
is all I'm going to say about that.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I'm in the Everton game, right? I mean,
I'd like to see Kai like start back to back. Is that too much to ask for?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other concern there, right? I mean, he's got all the still options, and but he's clearly picking these teams with the Champions League game in mind, which they play, and then, the next game, Brighton, not till Tuesday, so they have some decent time off. But you're not picking Kai and sitting like, oh yeah, good, I can't wait to watch the Chelsea game. You're like, oh fuck, I can't bear to see the team sheet an hour before the kickoff.
I know, yeah.
And when that happens, you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're punting. Yeah. So you're still punting here. You're punting, and it's fun. Punts are fun. Just like getting red arrows when Lingard gets 15 points every week, and you have Kai Havertz who doesn't start the next game.
Fun.
It's so worth it, dude.
Yeah, it's so fun to get Kuhn and captain him. I'm telling you,
motherfuck. Same with Pulisic. I mean, Ziyech, they're all like, I don't know who's going to play.
Yeah.
Whoever plays, they might be cohesive. They might not. But Kai was fucking good.
So was Pulisic. And Mount's pretty much always good. If they started every game, I'm in.
Different conversation.
I'm fucking in. Yeah. Next season, maybe there will be a first choice.
Pulisic can do from the bench. Tuchel knows.
Yeah, he can injure himself when he comes out from halftime. He can come off the bench and be good. He can start and be good. He can do everything.
Yeah, he can do it all. Yeah. Next season, Chelsea's going to be a fucking nightmare. I don't know what we're going to do.
Don't know what we're going to do. Don't know what anyone's going to be priced.
Don't need to know.
Don't even know what position Kai's going to be.
Don't even know yet.
That's an interesting one for sure. That's an interesting one. That's it, questions-wise. Anything else you want to talk about?
I feel like we rattled through those really quickly.
I know, I'm actually sweating a lot.
Okay.
We're talking a minute.
I think we cover. The Arsenal game was a little bit of a woo, but
Leeds is
Sheffield
definitely
United.
Something to watch for. I mean, I'm obviously Captain Kane. I think everyone's Captain Kane this week.
Yeah,
but if that game wasn't going on, I'd be looking at Mo and I'd be looking at Jota and stuff because they're at Leeds. But after what Leeds did against City, not the result, but how they played, I'm curious if that's going to be as good a fixture for the rest of these games and even for next season. Like maybe he is going to get a little bit more pragmatic and not just go 5,000% attack all the time, even when they're winning in every game. So that's just something to watch for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they were super defensive against City, and they play Liverpool and Man United next too. They had not played this way all year, not even remotely close.
No.
And if they do it against Liverpool, then you have to believe there's a sea change there. And it wasn't just a one-off against Pepinho. So
and they went down to 10 men, which probably also contributed to the tactics.
That's fair. At halftime, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair. So, but we'll have to see. I mean, if they go back to doing the same shit against Liverpool and it's, 4-1, which I expect it to be something like that in Liverpool's favor, then you're like, oh yeah, we got our leads back. But if not, definitely, I think that's definitely a good thing to mention and to monitor, because if they do show that pragmatism, then it's definitely going to change our evaluation of them next year and moving forward. Because something about Leeds that we kind of talked about, I think off pod, is that like why like the Bamford and the Rafinha picks are good ones, is that they play the same way against the top teams, and usually players that are priced in this bracket, you know that they're going to be really hard up against it to score against good teams, and obviously it's not as easy, like it's like they're playing a good team, but you saw Rafinha with the chance there, and Bamford got the assists, and even in this game where they played defensively, but generally speaking, when they're attacking all game, then you look at their next like 6 fixtures, and there's a couple like red ones in there, and you're like, yeah, well, whatever, they're cheaper and they could still do the thing. So yeah, I think it'll be an interesting thing to look at the next couple game weeks for sure.
Yeah, yep, that's one to monitor. What were you saying about Arsenal?
I don't know. They fucking spanked these.
They looked great.
Yeah, and they had playing their fucking backups, basically. Well, Martinelli, except for him, he's their best player, obviously. But
Lotta also has been good for a while. If we knew that Ops was out, then whoever asked that question last week would have been like, yeah, I love the pun because it's Sheffield United. But I expected Ops to start.
Yeah, this is the best like month and a half since Lacazette's got to Arsenal that he's played. Like he's just been routinely like extremely good for the last like 6 games I've watched him start. I think
it's another feather in Arteta's cap. I think they've been steadily getting better all season.
Yeah,
he's gotten a lot of good performances out of Laka, out of Pepe, guys that we thought were just trash and not good enough. So
yeah,
no, Tierney sucks, but happy to see that he didn't put Saka there instead, just shunted Shaka out there. This is nice.
Yeah, they have a very big problem with Tierney next year. They need to really look at themselves in the mirror there and sort the position, because he's not reliable, period, at this point. You can't keep going into this season, off of, basically no off seasons ever exist anymore, and say this is the year that he's just, you have to be more realistic there. And I don't know if they're going to be able to spend, but they definitely need fullback there.
I mean, they have a lot of weird issues. So they're obviously.
Actually, I feel like they kind of don't. I think their main problems are fullbacks.
They're old.
I guess if they lose, that's a problem.
They need to re-sign him. Obbs is having the worst year of his career, and he's 32 on a big contract.
The
Laka's 30.
The money's already spent.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you can't get rid of that. They have
Balogun, who might be in next year, and Martinelli. I'm fucking so biasly, insanely love him so much. But he also is never fit. But I feel like they still have some young players there.
They definitely have a
Saka.
They
don't need that many more players to fit in.
But I don't think they're quite there in the terms of top 4.
No, definitely not. But in terms of improving the squad, fullback's a big problem to me.
If they make good moves, the next couple of seasons.
They have new people to make moves. So that's
the next couple seasons or something, they could be really good building off this. Anything else to talk about?
I think
that's basically it.
Today's was fucking a nothing, basically a nothing. We covered the big games, I think.
Villa without Jack.
Well, we didn't touch on Liverpool at all. Anything there to take away? They were a little bit I don't know. It was a weird game.
I thought they were good. I thought they were, going down 1-0 was harsh, and they were playing really well at that point in the game. And, obviously.
Was it against the run of play?
Yeah, I would say it was hard lines, I would say. And then, obviously they get the winner. It's a worldie from Trent. That is what it is. But they created a bunch of other better chances that probably should have had them already up 2-1 or something. So, Mo was in and around stuff, shooting and getting better chances than he's been doing lately. I thought Thiago was really good when he subbed on. Shaq was good. So... Mane was still
got what they deserved.
Yeah, Mane was still Mane. I just don't think he should start in the Champions League.
He's gonna start, but
he probably will. Yeah, but
I think he's gonna go traditional. Jota's on the bench, I think, for this one.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Mane, it's just case in point, right? Not side pass for Jota tap and instead just missing the big chance.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's just
that's the story of his entire season.
Misses the big chance, which could have been a tap in, and he just instead does it.
I wonder what they're going to price him at next year. It's going to be really interesting.
It's really fun to always talk about prices near the end of the season. What the hell is Mane going to be?
He's got to be like 10. He's got to be a huge drop, huge discount.
Yeah, he was.
I think anything above 10 is just fucking a joke. Unless if he finishes up, if he scores like 6 goals to the rest of the season something. But
yeah, he was 9 in 16-17, 9-5, 9-5, and then this year. Or no, and then he was 11-5 last year. That was the
12.
big leap, and this year 12. So yeah, maybe he goes back down to like 10-5 or something, and then in between where he used to be. 10-5. All right, yeah, let's just go to our teams.
Okay.
What's up?
I don't know.
You're
the things.
You're deep in the shit.
I'll probably take like a -8 and get whatever.
Dude, -8, so fun. So fun.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
There's Champions League stuff and Europa League. We just need to see stuff. But
yeah,
I'll probably stick to what my plan and just go Raz the Sun and just keep it simple and hope that. I mean, I'm just praying that Christensen even makes the squad in Champions League, so maybe he'll play in the league. Yeah. But who knows? I mean, embargoed fucking hamstring injury.
But that's a good thing with Pereira. I mean, he's at least an attacker.
Yeah.
Not a good fixture, but that's not a big deal. It's not worth a hit or anything.
Also, not that bad a fixture. Leicester.
Yeah, maybe not.
But yeah, and then obviously Smith Rowe too. We both have. I'm hoping he can find some fitness. I don't know. He'll
probably play Thursday, and then we won't know until
won't be in the squad.
Until like before the game that he's not in the squad.
He's like tuberculosis. Picked it up.
Cedric, dude, unreal.
So basically, neither of us know shit, and both of us are capping Kane.
I can't believe I got Cedric. Yeah,
it was funny. If it makes you feel any percent better, it was a funny thing.
Easiest clean of life.
Fucking setters.
Fuck, why didn't I just get Holdinho? I hate Holdinho, that's why, probably.
You got 2 BAPs, too.
I think I fucking didn't see that.
Pass completion merchant.
Unbelievable. I mean, I need to get rid of Kuhn, obviously. So, I mean, I was looking at Cavani. We were talking about that the other day, right?
The one actual fun thing is that at least you have like unlimited money to play with because one of the guys you're getting rid of is Kuhn.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, we were talking about Vardy too, but I mean, you could get like Nacho. I don't know. There's a lot of action. There's going to be.
You could get Nacho. Yeah, like Nacho, Cavani.
I mean,
Vardy.
I could also just listen to our advice and get Lingard.
Yes, could do that.
So that's an option.
Yeah.
If I want to be good and smart, that's what I would.
Well,
what I should do.
Depends what you want in the world.
I want to find whatever Cedric equivalent is in midfield.
Yeah,
Redmond.
Exactly. Yeah. Oof.
Get Redmond. He probably won't play.
Were fucking next level bad today.
Yeah.
Ozzy was a disaster in Discord. Disaster. Because they're still like, okay, they're probably safe.
No, they're safe. Come on. Don't talk to me like that.
But they're not 100% safe.
They're 1,000,000% safe.
They're really not. Because
Fulham is charging them down. They are safe as fuck.
I agree. There's a 1% chance. But there's a 1% chance.
Not saying why I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. I said there's 1,000,000% chance they're safe. I didn't say 99.
Here's the thing. Their next 3 fixtures are Spurs, Leicester, Liverpool. That's probably 3 losses.
They don't need another point.
And then they play Fulham.
They don't need another point.
If Fulham beat them, drag them in. But I'm just trying to make fetch happen right now, dude.
You're high, right? Yeah. Fetch is not happening. Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Let me slap asses. We got 4 new signups this week. We're back, baby. We're buzzing. Yeah.
Should we do... Oh, wow. Should we do deletions?
Do what?
Say who deletes?
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. Just call them out. Just stake them on the fucking wall.
It's like, you know, when you kill. You get your fake ID taken, you put it on the bar. That's good. We should fucking... No, we can't do that.
We can't do it, but maybe privately we can just have a people to kill list, which is funny.
We should do it on the Patreon, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, hey, they can know. They're like insiders. Yeah, they can know the dirty deeds.
They're cucked here.
Yeah.
Only cucked here.
News says Michael Hanna, Sebastian Moran, Joseph Switalski, and Rafe 63. Good job.
Switta,
That's
not
good
gonna
in
work
there.
here.
What?
Switta, not gonna work here anymore.
Yeah, I really butchered that one.
Every pod we do is one pod closer to Euros.
That's a fact. This is also episode 288, I think. Very close to 300.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Milestone.
I thought you were about to say that's like the astrological sign for.
Oh, you know me and astrology. I'm charging my crystals right now.
Well, dude, 288, like that is significant.
No, 300's pretty sick though.
300.
That's a lot of fucking pods. We've potted a lot of pods. Like
we've made a lot of pods. We've created a lot. Isn't it funny that we're business partners?
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. In first grade, if our teacher, we're fucking 6 years old, and our teacher was like, "You guys are gonna grow up to be business partners," we'd be like, "Obviously," as we're like bullying that one kid. But
oh god,
here we are. Okay. Any last words?
Good business partnering by you.
Good business partnering by you. Check us out at FMLBuild. Follow us on Twitter at FMLBuild. Sports Media Joe.com/FMLBuild.